Flirting. For some women, it's as easy as breathing, but for most of us, it's a struggle at the best of times. How do you show a guy you're interested without looking desperate or crazy? The truth is, flirting is simple. All it takes is remembering a few simple do's and don'ts and putting them into practice in the real world. Hi, I'm Amy North. As a relationship and dating expert, I know how critical flirting is to attracting the notice of quality men. So, you'd better believe that I'm not flirting when I say you're going to be irresistible. I really mean it. Today, I'm going to go over 2 scenarios that will illustrate how to act if you want to pique his interest and how to act if you want to stay single for the rest of your life. This is a story about Lisa and Darren. They've met a few times through mutual friends. They know one another's names, but that's about it. And oh yeah, Lisa is crushing on Darren hard. One day, they see each other on the street. Lisa wants to play it cool and pretend she doesn't notice him and instead stays focused on her phone. Darren approaches Lisa to say hello. Hi, Lisa. I didn't expect to see you again. It's been a while. Where have you been? Yeah, it's great to see you. I've actually been in Seattle visiting my cousin. I just went to Chicago to see my brother and his wife. They finally had a baby. Wow, congratulations on becoming an aunt. What's his name? No, it's a girl, and her name is Jessie. Beautiful name. Well, I'll see you later. Bye. A pretty basic conversation. After this, Lisa and Darren continue to be friendly, but Darren never asked her out and they never got together. Do you know what Lisa did wrong that turned Darren off and ruined her chances to be with him? She actually made over a dozen mistakes that hurt her chances with Darren, and that's just the tip of the iceberg. Let's start from the very beginning. When Lisa noticed Darren, she was doing her best to play it cool, so she kept looking at her phone. She never acknowledged his presence or greeted him. She didn't want to come on too strong, but saying hello, waving, and smiling are pretty basic manners. And remember, Lisa is trying to flirt with Darren, so she shouldn't pretend he's invisible. Now, let's look at the physical aspect of things. Lisa's hair is covering her face, her arms are crossed, she struggles to make eye contact, and she doesn't smile. These mistakes may not be too bad on their own, but taken together, they paint a picture of someone who doesn't want to talk to you. Remember that attraction is all about subconscious cues. Guys are trying to gauge your interest in them before moving forward. It doesn't matter that Lisa is only acting this way because she really likes Darren and is nervous. Darren can't read her mind. He can only read her body language. What else is wrong with this picture? Give up? Look at Lisa's shoes. She's wearing big, tall boots that make her taller than Darren. This is something to avoid if your crush is anywhere near your height. You should try your best to appear shorter than him. Studies have shown that men prefer shorter women, so you should avoid exaggerating your height over his. You want him to notice you for the right reasons. But what about their conversation? First, Lisa doesn't say his name or even greet Darren. Instead, she launches right into a question. Questions are great, but the phrasing here is not working. She says, I didn't expect to see you again. Where have you been? This comes across as more of an interrogation than a conversation. It's starting things off on a negative rather than a positive. When Darren says, I've been out of town visiting my cousin, Lisa blows past this to tell her own story instead of asking about his trip. Flirting is all about staying positive. Lisa is being pretty negative here. She says, they finally had a baby. She doesn't say thank you when Darren congratulates her. She corrects Darren harshly when he misgenders the baby. So it's no wonder the conversation falls flat. And while Darren says, I'll see you later, Lisa just says, bye. But even if Lisa had made none of these mistakes, there'd still be almost no chance that Darren would ask her out. That's because flirting isn't just about avoiding error, it's about taking action to make him notice you and realize you're interested. Just look at this interaction. Would anyone watching have any idea that Lisa is interested in Darren? Would Darren know? Of course not. So then why would he think of her as anything more than an acquaintance? Now, let's imagine a different scenario. The next day, Lisa and Darren see each other on the street again. Lisa waves, smiles, and approaches Darren. Hi Darren, come here often? Darren laughs. I could ask you the same question. Here's where Lisa makes a decisive move. She shares her umbrella. Notice how she didn't doubt herself or ask him if it was okay. She simply acted. Usually I never share my umbrella, but I'll make an exception for you, just this once. Thanks, I owe you one. So you were saying the other day that you just got back from Seattle. I've always wanted to go. How was your trip? Lisa and Darren kept talking, and the rest, as they say, is history. So, what exactly did Lisa do differently? Well, for starters, she greeted Darren with enthusiasm. Next, she made a joke and then got close to him by sharing her umbrella. Then she made him feel special. After that, she asked him a question about something they'd previously talked about, showing interest in his life in a natural way. As you can see, it doesn't take a lot of work or a cheesy pickup line to go from floundering to flirting. So how did Lisa turn from a cold fish into a straight-up fox? She went to coachnorth.com. There she discovered my free video presentation and learned the secret that made Darren want to devote himself to her. When she used this technique, it unlocked Darren's strongest desires and bonded him to her for good. Check it out for yourself now at coachnorth.com, and you too could live happily ever after.